All right. So, as you guys can see, I'm at home, and the last time I filmed was on May 11th, which was 6 days ago because it's May 16th now. So, yeah, I had orgo on Wednesday. Uh, just a reference, today's Saturday, May 16th. Yeah, but I had orgo on Wednesday and I had biochem on Thursday, and I watched the sun rise every single day. And it was kind of crazy because I got 3 hours of sleep every night just from studying, surviving, and just continuing my life and my responsibility as a student. And then, just like that, my sophomore year was over. I came home and I knocked out. But I've been sitting a lot lately and I've been thinking a lot about this past semester, and I really wanted to reflect. So I just sat down and I wrote everything that came to mind, and now I have it on a piece of paper, right? Because what I realized was this semester was not what I expected at all. So let's start with the very beginning of the semester. So, right before the first day of school, I broke up with my girlfriend, my high school girlfriend, and we were doing long distance. And I thought, like, genuinely thought we were going to get married, like, right after college. And because of that, the first month of school was really hard. It was one of the hardest months of my life, and had never gone into a relationship before, so it was my first relationship. So I didn't know what to expect, like the healing process. And because it was so hard and we just broke up, I would leave my dorm at like 9 a.m. and come back at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And this was like every single day kind of thing. And it's not because I had somewhere to be or I was so busy, but because coming back to my room reminded me of her. Because we would always FaceTime whenever I got back or she got back to her dorm room. And without that, the room just felt empty and wrong. But here's something I've only recently been able to say out loud, and it's that I was trading my ambition and my goals for her. My whole life, I've been wanting to pursue some like certainty, right? And I didn't want to take risks, and I didn't feel like I needed to meet new people or push myself to grow. And in and because of that, I started to compromise with myself and being like saying like, "Oh, I'm okay. I don't need anything." And it's just because I had her and I felt like that was enough, right? And when she was gone, all that comfort, uh, all those thoughts also went away with her. And because of that, I slowly started to realize the breakup didn't actually ruin my semester. It actually opened it. And there's one person I want to mention. His name is Jaden O. And Jaden, if you're watching this part's for you. So I met Jaden through church, and he's a year below me, so he's a freshman. And somewhere in those painful first weeks of the semester, he became the person I called when I didn't know what else to do. He was always there, like always. And I just remember one night, I came back to my room pretty early. It was like 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and I started thinking about her, and it was low key killing me on the inside. So I texted him. I told him, I'm thinking about her. I don't know what to do. And the first thing he told me was, come over to my dorm and we'll do something. And I just remember that night I went over and I just broke down in front of him. And he watched me cry, which is something that I don't do very often. But I really respected how he didn't try to fix it or say anything right. All he just did was he just sat with me, and somehow, to me, that was everything that I needed at that moment. And our bond only grew from there. We motivated each other. We genuinely wanted the best for each other. We went to New York together. And Jaden, you're one of the reasons why this channel exists. And I remember that we talked about journaling and keeping each other accountable and watching each other grow. And you were the only person that I told about this channel before the first video came out. So thank you about that. Thank you for such a wonderful year. And I am eternally, forever grateful for you. So, yeah, that was the first month. And the second month, something shifted. And I started praying for her, for my ex. And it's not for us, like that I wanted to get back together for her, like with her, but it was actually for her. And that she would find peace as well, and that she would be okay amidst all this heartbreak and whatever that she was going through. And I just remember I was lying in my bed one night, and I was very tired from trying to distract myself about like the thought of her and everything. And I just prayed. I just prayed to God very genuinely, and that she would be okay and that she would be well. And something in me started to loosen, and I started to think about her less, and the bitterness and the resentment started to fade. And what replaced it was something I didn't expect. It was actually gratitude and the loving memories. And I just realized that to love something with all your heart is the best thing someone can do. And I realized that I wouldn't be who I am right now, even filming this video, and I wouldn't have met the people I met this past semester who I genuinely want to get closer to without that breakup. And I strongly believe that God has a plan for everyone, and that sometimes He will take someone very dear to you, or someone that you thought was very dear to you, in order to open new relationships with other people in your life. And just like that, I started throwing myself into other organizations like KASA, into church, into clubs, and I started meeting new people and letting them in. J-Bach, Kevin, Josh, Eiffel, Jaden, Bowen, Theo. These people actually brought genuine joy and laughter into my life. And because of that, I started to realize, wow, I was closing myself off to all these new opportunities and all these people that can bring you so much joy in my life. And not just that, somewhere in the middle of all this chaos and all these new things that were coming to me, I started to pick up my camera once again. And cinematography is something I've loved for a very long time, but I had put down it. And this semester I picked it back up. And the first thing I filmed was just small daily clips. And I did this because it was another way to distract myself from the breakup and the chaos and everything about that. So it was just little moments throughout the day, and I'll just edit it at the very end of the day. And it felt very familiar. It felt exciting, and it felt like I was coming home to something I'd forgotten about. And yeah, and another thing that I want to mention is there's you guys. I started this channel in secret, and nobody knew, not my friends, not my family. They still don't know. And it was literally just me and Jaden. And I posted that first video, and I genuinely didn't know if anyone would watch. But then the comments started coming in, and people saying that they wanted to grow together, people sharing that they were going through similar things, and that people were just being very vulnerable with me the way I was being vulnerable with them. And I wake up now, and one of the first things I do is I check the comments, because every single one of them reminds me that I'm not alone. And I hope that it goes both ways for both you and me. And that maybe by sharing my life a little, honestly, I'm helping someone else feel less alone too. And that's all I ever wanted from this. So, when I think about who I was in September, sitting in my dorm room, avoiding it because it reminded me of her, not knowing what I wanted, not knowing who I was going to become, I low-key could have never imagined this. Community, joy, thankfulness, these are the words for this semester. And I'm just a regular college kid going through the motions of life. I don't have it figured out. I'm still scared and still lost sometimes. I have no clue what I'm doing sometimes, but that's life, isn't it? Figuring it out one by one and taking it on step by step. But I know that even still, I'm still growing, and I can feel it, and I'm very grateful for it. For every late night conversation, every single hard day that I worked through, every unexpected person who walked into my life this semester, and to everyone watching, I pray and I hope that you guys have a very restful semester, whether you're finishing up or you're already finished and you're at home watching this video. And to the version of me from September, look where we are. Yeah, so guys, let's just keep going. And thank you so much for a wonderful semester. Goodbye.